brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. We're a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown, community supported, and we're also a part of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. I'm Andrew, and welcome to the district. We have an amazing guest and show for you this evening, and thank you for joining us on YouTube. And of course, if you've downloaded the audio podcast, thanks for downloading. We really appreciate it. And if you have a second to share, we'd really appreciate that as well. Let's bring in who is joining us tonight. Unfortunately, Superfan Mike is not able to be with us tonight, but we do still have from the south side, very south side as the case might be, it's the one and only Commissioner Kayla. How are you, Kayla? Very south. Very south. Well, my worry is that it just blows my hair everywhere. It's horrible. Yeah. Yes, but yeah, I knew. Yeah, I know it's really, really bad. Hey, did you, before we bring our guest in, did you know that yesterday was a significant day? Yeah, Mike texted me. It should have been a national holiday because 7 years ago yesterday, we signed James Franklin. Did you know that? It's amazing. Yeah, it's a national holiday right there. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's that's right. Well, talking about signing people and bringing people in, we should probably bring in our guest. What do you think about that? That would be a good idea.
Yeah, yep. While we have a chance,
wonderful.
do it.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm excited to bring in our guest this week. Now, before we bring him in, I just want to say thanks to the Elks for helping us get our guests recently. It's been really helpful with that. Our guest tonight really needs no introduction. We're joined by a CFL Hall of Famer, or Canadian Football Hall of Famer, receiver that played 15 seasons in the CFL, six-time CFL All-Star, three-time Grey Cup champion, and CFL record holder for most receiving yards with 16,352. He also happens to be the new assistant general manager for the Elks. Welcome to the Turf District, Geroy Simon. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that intro takes me a while to read through. Sorry, I was you did a lot when you
That was a
when
short
you were
version
around.
of it.
I know, yeah, I could have kept going. I'm like, I'm gonna waste all of our time just doing the intro. Um, so glad you're here, and welcome to the Elks. Very, very excited when you signed on with the team. Tell us a little bit about the first few months in the new role.
The first few months have been it's been fun. It's all the things that you think it would be, and coming to a new team and turn over a roster. There were some struggles last year, so with Chris coming in and changing the philosophy, trying to change the culture and the mindset. That comes with change of players as well. So we had to change over a lot of players from the previous roster, and we're out finding new players each and every seems like each and every weekend. But it's been great. It's been a great learning experience. It's very busy. It's very fast paced, but I'm loving it.
Wow. It seems so surreal to actually have you in green and gold. Like it's quite surreal. But let's take it back and who introduced you to football and when did you start playing?
Well, where I'm from, in Western Pennsylvania, football is just kind of, you come out of the womb playing football. growing up in Steeler country, everybody, in my household and in my hometown basically is a Steelers fan. We bleed black and gold. Um, so from the early days of me being a child, I played a bunch of other sports, but football was something that it was just you just from the time you were walking, you're holding the football in your hand and running and tackling and it's funny because now that I think about it, growing up, we played football almost every day. If we weren't on the basketball court, but almost every day in the summer we're playing. Obviously in the fall we're playing. Even in the winters when there's snow on the ground and there's snow on the basketball courts, we actually played tackle football on the concrete. So there was a lot of snow there to protect you. But that's some of the things that we did. Football's it's like drinking water where I'm from in Western Pennsylvania.
Dang.
Super fan Mike is a big Steelers fan too, so he's sad he can't be here to talk to you about that for sure.
Yeah, I can relate on the black and gold, just a different black and gold, not so much the Pittsburgh black and gold.
Well, now we just cut out the black. It's all green now. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's what
Fair
it is.
enough.
Yeah.
But do you remember your first year as a rookie, and what was the biggest thing you had to get used to in the CFL?
Well, yeah, I remember my rookie year in the CFL very fondly, and very vividly. I remember the first game of my rookie year. I came in with a little bit of hype, and I had a really good training camp with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I remember going through warmups and the starting returner Joe Rogers. He got hurt in warmup somehow, and we didn't have a punt returner. So I was like, well, I return punts in university, so I can do it. But little did I not realize that the no fair catch rule. So three plays into my rookie season, I catch a punt and my leg gets blown out of the water from I think his name was Dennis Schilling from Hamilton. So the first game of my rookie year, I was injured and sat out like 8 weeks because
Oh no.
because of the fair catch rule. But there was certain little details in the CFL game that obviously I had to get used to. The motion at the line of scrimmage, the extra man on the field, 3 downs instead of 2 downs, 20-second play clock. So there were a number of different rules that I had to get adjusted to. And I think the injury was a blessing to me because it gave me a chance to sit back and watch and really learn, so that when I got back on the field, I really knew what I was doing once I got out there.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, obviously you learned the waggle. You did very well with it. And 12 years, 2 Grey Cups with the Lions. Interestingly enough, you actually played with my cousin Cameron Legault at one of the
Yeah.
So I came very close to meeting you a few times when I went to go see him. But what are your fondest memories of your time there, and then tell us about the Superman nickname in the end zone pose, because everyone wants to know kind of where that came from because it's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, playing in BC was a great experience for me. It gave me a chance to set down some roots after bouncing around the NFL and the CFL for a bunch of years. And when I got to BC, I was tired of moving, moving around and not having any real stability. Um, but yeah, growing, spreading my wings in BC was real. I think it was a great experience for me. We came up with the Superman pose. It was one of those things where my son Jaden was born, and he was really into superheroes, and I was like, every kid thinks their dad's a superhero, so I said I'll do this little thing for him if I score a touchdown, and I did it, and it was a road game, so he could see it on TV, but it ended up, I ended up scoring a lot more touchdowns, so it kind of grew legs of its own and kind of took off. So that's where that Superman pose came in, and just kind of ran with it over the years, and it really caught on.
Oh man,
That
that's
that's so cool. A thing for your son that turns into a lifelong legacy,
For
which
sure,
is
for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh man, two legacies in one. But you moved into Saskatchewan in 2013 and won a Grey Cup on home field. So what was that experience like in Regina? And also, do you have a fave DB that you went up against?
Well, the experience in Saskatchewan was a great experience. I knew that my time in BC was over, or at least coming to an end. And while we were going back and forth on the contract, and we couldn't come to an agreement on what the contract would look like, and he gave me an opportunity to seek a trade. And a good friend of mine, a guy who brought me into the league, someone I stayed close with over all these years, Brendan Taman, was at Saskatchewan. So when he gave me the opportunity to seek a trade, the only team I called was Saskatchewan, and we got the deal done. And my experience in Saskatchewan was amazing because all the years of playing in BC, I kind of envied Saskatchewan from afar because they really loved their football. Football was number one in the province. And it kind of sucked because we won so much in BC, but we were always played second fiddle to the Canucks, and I could never understand it because I'm like, we're the winning team here. The Canucks they haven't won anything. And we're sitting here winning divisional titles, we're winning Grey Cup champions, and you're still talking about the Canucks. So I kind of wanted to get away from that. I wanted to go somewhere where football was king. Like I said, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, where football is king, and that's the number one sport. So I wanted to go to an environment where football was the number one sport, and when you win, you're celebrated for it, and that's what we did in Saskatchewan. Now, as far as my favorite DB to go up against, I didn't really have any because I felt like I had a great opportunity to beat any of them. So yeah, I can't say I have a favorite one, but there's plenty that I had success with, and I took pride in beating a guy and kind of sending him home. So that was something that I really took pride in, and that if a guy was going to guard me man to man, one on one, that there's a good chance that he's going to go home and never play football again. And that's just the mentality I had as a player. That I was taking it real that serious.
Love
That's
it.
Oh, that's so good. Well, I will be one of the first to say that I never thought I would see you in any color green, much less that shade. But I'm glad you have the right shade of green now. That's
Yeah.
that's important. Um, but you retire and then you moved right into scouting
Yeah.
and development. What appealed to you most about the scouting side of things?
Well, the thing for me, I played so long as a pro that I knew that eventually my career was going to come to an end, and so I started working on little things to stay in the game. I wanted to stay in the game of football. I wanted to stay around sports because I knew that that's where I would really flourish. I've done a bunch of other things. I done sales jobs. I did some HR stuff. I did a number of different jobs on the side, and nothing really appealed to me like the feeling that you get when you're around sports. So I knew I wanted to stay in the game. As far as what direction I wanted to go into, I didn't want to go directly into coaching because, again, I moved around so much at the early part of my career. I didn't want to move a ton. Starting the next phase, my kids were young. I had a family. I didn't want to move around every year, so that's why I went into scouting and personnel. And Brendan gave me a great opportunity to kind of take baby steps to go into scouting. I did scouting. I did appearances for the club, speaking engagements, a number of different things that could kind of help my transition from on the field to off the field into being in the personnel scouting department.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And now you had 6 years in the BC office. Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
6 years. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and No, so during that time, did you have a good scouting story where you're like, "Hey, I found this guy," or like, "You wouldn't believe the stadium that I just went to watch a guy play," or any
Well,
of those types of things?
yeah, it's funny. I have a lot of scouting stories. My first scouting trip, when I was with the Riders, I was on my first NFL trip, and I'm going out and I go get my rental car. I get my rental car from Pittsburgh. I'm driving to West Virginia, going to scout the New Orleans Saints down at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. But you're in the mountains of West Virginia when you're driving, so I'm watching. I'm driving and I'm looking at my GPS and I realize I miss a turn. But in that, I try to swerve over and I go through the meeting, not through the meeting, but there's a where the turnout where the road breaks, and I go through there and there's a bunch of gravel or whatever, so I get a flat tire. But I get a flat tire on this rental car, and I'm in the mountains of West Virginia. I have no cell service.
Oh, jeez.
There's nothing around, so I basically have to
Oh
pull
no.
over and have to ride the little small spare for like 50 miles till I can find a service department, and it was pretty crazy. That was my welcome to scouting moment. I didn't have insurance on the car, so I ended up having to pay out of my own pocket for a
Oh,
new tire. Just because you get rental cars as a young guy, you're like nothing's going to happen, and lo and behold, it's my 3 hours into my trip, I get a flat tire and I got to pay for a new tire. So that was that. One of the coolest. I mean, I've had a lot of cool experiences, but one of the cooler experiences is I was on a trip a couple years later. I don't even remember. I was going to Dallas, and when they opened up the new AT&T Stadium, I flew in for a preseason game, and I got there a little bit late. Normally, as a scout, you get to games 2, 3 hours early just to get there and get set up. But I fly into Dallas, then I have to drive to Irving to the stadium, and I get the first spot right at the stadium doors. So that was pretty cool. I think I might have took Jerry Jones's parking spot because I was so close. And it was a really cool experience to park in the first spot at the stadium and then literally walk out of my car, take 2 steps out of my car into the building, which is pretty cool.
they didn't just have a sign for you there, Canadian Football Hall of Fame, Geroy
Well,
Simon parked here, or no? That's
you learn to give the gab when you're in this in certain situations. You learn how to talk to people. You know how to talk to people really nicely, and then sometimes a Grey Cup ring can get you a long ways. There's been times where I haven't had tickets to a game, but I somehow find myself on the field watching the game, just because you got your Grey Cup ring and things like that. So it's pretty cool.
Oh man, that's outstanding. Kayla, just before you start, I'm just going to remind everyone in the chat if they want to throw in any questions for G Roy. We'll get to those in a couple of minutes. You're up,
Yeah,
Kayla.
I need some help with the gift of gab because I just go on and then people lose attention. I just like it. I
Yeah.
don't get anywhere.
You got to be direct. You got to be very nice, but you got to be direct and tell them exactly what you want, what you need.
That's where I lose it. I'm too nice. I'm nice, but then I just kind of ramble on and they lose interest.
I got you.
But so you joined the Elks in December, and it's I'm still amazed, and it's crazy to see you here with us, and I don't know. For me, I'm honored because I joined the CFL, and that was kind of like your prime, so it's a little bit of a moment of shock for me to see you sitting here for us when you were like the Lions everything. So very, very cool. Anyway, I digress. Tell us a little bit about the relationship that you have with Chris Jones and building the new roster, and what was free agency like this year?
Well, I'd known Chris for a number of years. I think he came into the league around 2002, so I'd already been in the league for a couple of years. And then, with all the years of him having success as a defensive coordinator, and then my success as a player, we would always talk before games. He always talks about how I come up to him, ask him if he's going to double me that night, and he'd be like, "You damn right, I'm going to double you." Um, But we just kind of built a relationship over the years. I mean, a lot of people think that we're polar opposites, but we're actually very close. We're very similar in what we believe in, as far as players and building a roster and things like that. So it's funny because I talked to Chris and I'd hung out with him a few times over the years, but 3 years ago at the NFL Combine, we ended up having breakfast. And it was just supposed to be a 15-minute, hey, how you doing? Have a quick coffee, and we ended up sitting and talking for 3 hours about
Wow.
philosophies and rosters and things that gone on in the past. And we came out of that saying that if we ever had the opportunity to work together, that we were going to make it happen. Um, so going through the process of him being hired as the GM and head coach. As soon as he got the job, I think I was his first call, and he asked me if I wanted to come along, and it was a no brainer for me. It was a great step. It was a great opportunity for me to learn from him, and learn how to build a winning roster, and see how that's done. So it's been a great experience so far. And as far as free agency goes, we were aggressive. We were
Yeah.
very aggressive in what we wanted. I think again the gift of gab and the gift of recruiting. I think that's one of my strong points, because although I don't talk a ton, but when I go about recruiting a player, um, 9 chances out of 10 we seem to get that player. And Chris gave us an opportunity to go out and do that. Obviously, myself, Chris, myself, and Sam Gahagan, we really went after guys, and I think we made our roster better. Now it's a matter of we got to finish it off with the draft, and then get in the training camp, and get this thing rolling.
Chills.
Well, even in your free agents, like you signed one of your former teammates, Manny Arsenault,
Yeah.
coming back. Like that's that one must have been at least a little bit easy because you're like, hey, Manny, like come on,
Check.
like
I
you
mean
know me,
that was
like let's
one of
go.
the that was one of the easier negotiations, and signing Manny. I know that the thing is with Manny, and what I can appreciate about Manny, he had been out of the CFL for a couple years, but I know him. I know his work ethic. I know what he brings to the table as far as leadership. He's not. He's a guy he's a vocal leader, but he also leads by example. The receiver room will be better off having Manny Arsenault in that room, and there will be no guys that are slacking off, no guys that are cutting corners, because it won't happen with Manny in the room. So that's the one thing, in building a team, you got to build a team with the right type of players. It's great to have skill and ability, but you got to have the right type of players. And Manny brings that veteran leadership, that toughness, that you want in a player and a leader.
Oh,
Oof.
fantastic.
Yes.
Now you talked about, up next is the draft, but I know the combine just happened and return to being in person. And tell us a bit about that experience going in the assistant GM role, and also uh, do you feel like you got a better assessment with it being in person?
Yeah, you always get a better assessment when you can see guys live. Sometimes when guys send videos, the videos are doctored, and it's even just if it's not doctored, you can't see what you want to see. You can't see how a guy reacts if he doesn't run as fast as he normally runs, if he doesn't jump as high as he normally jumps, and if he doesn't perform the way he's used to performing. Those things that are intangibles that you need to evaluate a player. So it was great to not only see the players in person, but also see the guys around the league in person. It was tough to be away from guys over the past 2 years, with COVID and everything. So getting in the same building with guys, and talking football, talking shop, was something that was really important, and it made you feel like things were coming back to normal, and we can move this thing forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. On the combine too, another question that just came to my mind. Um, what is it like sitting in on those interviews? Like, I can't imagine what that part is like to just sit and interview a guy, but you're interviewing as like for talent, but for the person that is going to fit your team and all that. Like, what is that experience like?
Well, this year was a little bit different because for 5 years, five of the 7 years I was in BC. Um, I was the director of U.S. Scout. I mean, director of Canadian Scouting. So I basically ran those interviews. But for the most part, it was me just asking the questions for someone else's for other GMs to listen in on.
Hmm.
But this year it was a little bit different because it was just Chris and myself in the room with the player, and we really got a sense of who the guys really are. We sat them down and we had casual conversation, but we also gathered a lot of information from these guys because you know making guys feel comfortable when they walk in the room, ask them if they want a water, had a bunch of candy, had chips, and think obviously those guys don't want to have that stuff before they perform the next day in the combine. But bringing them into the room, offering them a drink of water, a coffee, a muffin, it kind of helps them relax, and then you get true answers as opposed to some pre-performed answers that they normally give to other teams.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Sorry,
Oof.
Kayla, I stepped on you there. Go
No,
ahead.
I like that
Yeah.
question. I like
Yeah.
to see like the behind the scenes things and like how you actually talk to players and stuff. It's really unique to see from your perspective, especially Geroy. But so we have the draft upcoming, both Canadian and global on the same day, with the Elks having the first Canadian round pick. How does the next few weeks play out for you guys? And is it harder having both drafts on the same day?
um, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're up for. We have a clear direction that we want to go in with both drafts, and as long as we stick to our plan and doing the things that we have pre-planned, I think the draft is going to go smooth, both the global and the CFL and the Canadian draft. So we're looking forward to getting it to getting to it and making our picks and getting those guys under contract. That's almost the last steps in putting the team together to prepare for the season. So we're really looking forward to getting there.
Ooh, exciting.
Fantastic. Well, let's get a couple of fan questions here, G-Roy. Um, Chris Agar has a funny question, I think. Do you remember the hardest hit you took on the field in college and in the CFL?
Oh yeah, I mean
I,
I've
I was
taken a
waiting for you
lot.
to say I never got hit. I just scored touchdowns. Yeah, but that's nothing.
When you obviously you catch a lot of balls, you have a lot of balls thrown to you. You take a ton of big hits. Um, One that I can remember, I remember Brent. I ran an out route, the outside receiver was supposed to take outside release, took an inside release, and turned Brandon Browner right into me. And I saw him coming, but so I kind of turned my back, and he hit me so hard that I jumped up and I was like, "Don't ever hit me that hard again." Brandon Browner. I also remember in the West Final in 2007, I run like a 16-yard curl route. Jarius Jackson, he kind of holds the ball and he throws it a little bit late, but he throws it high. And I was like, oh man, this isn't gonna be good. So I ended up jumping up for the ball, and I jumped up pretty high, and I can't remember the guy's name. Arabin Justin, he hits my foot, and I end up falling. And the first thing to hit was my head, and the second thing to hit was my feet over my head. So I remember that one. It shook me up pretty good. I've been knocked out a few times, so obviously I don't remember those hits. I'm sure those are harder than the other two.
Ouch.
Oh, I don't know. Brandon Browner hitting you at full speed. That
Yeah.
I'm hurting and I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Um, the David Winchester asks, how was the transition from player to working in the front office and having to deal with the players instead?
I think the biggest thing is as far as when you transition is learning to be humble. Because when you make that transition, you're no longer a player. You might think yourself as a player, but you got to really make a separation, and that was one of the harder things that I had to do because obviously playing for so many years, people, you gain a lot of friends in the league, but you also gain a lot of young guys who respect you. So you have to make the separation that you're no longer a player. You're in the front office, and you can't mix the two. And that was one of the biggest lessons for me. Like guys that I played with in BC for 10 years, they want to hang out, but it's like I'm not a player anymore, so I can't. We can hang out at certain points, but we can't do the things that we did. When I was in uniform. So that's the biggest thing. And like I said, being humble, being willing to learn, because having experience on the field for how many ever years you played is one thing, but learning how to do things and on the other side of the ball is totally different. As far as build, like I said, building a roster, making transactions, and just doing the everyday things that you don't see as a player. Because players come in at 8 o'clock and they leave at 2, but on this side of things, you can be in there at 3, 4 in the morning and leave at midnight, and nobody ever knows that, and then you don't get standing ovations for when you have to execute a contract or make a trade or things like that. So there's a lot more that goes into things, into the football side of things than just what happens, what people see on the field.
Absolutely.
Well, just so that you know, I know you didn't see it, but when you signed Mark Cordy, I stood up and clapped. So that's I'll continue to do that. I'll start posting videos so that you can see it, so that you
Sure,
you feel
for
appreciated
sure.
as well, because we do appreciate those. Um, one more question here. Tim Capper asks your favorite CFL away city and your most hated CFL city.
Ooh.
Well, my favorite city to go to and visit would probably be Montreal, just for the
That
food and
seems to be the common
vibe
answer.
and everything. But the most hated city was obviously Regina. You don't want to go in there as a visitor, because it's not fun. Getting batteries and pennies and things thrown at you on the field, on top of
Jeez.
all the verbal altercations that you can have. But it's all in good spirit. They love their team, and they're just trying to get the competitive advantage.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Well, not hilarious. I would not like to experience that, but yeah, I'm just glad you didn't say your most hated city was Edmonton, because Anyway, we're glad you're here. Um, all right, a couple rapid fire questions for you here before we let you go. What's your favorite meal?
Ooh, steak with anything.
Attaboy. Good thing you're in Alberta
Yeah,
now. We have lots of those. Yeah, that's
exactly.
good.
Wait, what? But how do you like it done? That is the main.
Uh, Medium rare.
Okay,
Ah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we're good.
yes. Okay, yeah, you just got a passing mark from Kayla.
yeah.
That's good. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I am an R&B thug, but I'll listen to anything. I mean, I'm growing up in different environments, growing up in Pennsylvania, living in BC, going to University of Maryland. I can listen to any type of music, and I know words to almost all types of music. So I can listen to anything, but I'm more R&B.
Fair enough. What are you streaming on Netflix these days, or any streaming service? I shouldn't always say
Ooh,
Netflix, I guess.
Netflix right now.
What's
Well,
what
I'm
do you do?
watching three different series. I'm watching F1,
Oh, I want to watch
Netflix.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
watching Billions, and I'm watching Power. So yeah, so three different series that I'm watching when I have the slightest bit of free time.
Yeah, I
Right.
was
Yeah.
just gonna say in all your spare time. Yeah, Billions and Power. I like that for a general manager. Those are good things to watch. Get ready
Yes.
for how this is gonna run. Cookies or chips?
Oh, chips all day.
Okay, perfect. Who was your favorite player when you were growing up?
My favorite player growing up was Walter Payton.
Ooh, good pick. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He did okay. He
Yeah,
was all right.
tough dude.
Um, yeah, exactly. Did you have any pre-game rituals?
Um, yeah, I mean, I like to say that I'm not superstitious, but I would, put my pants on, sock, left shoe, right shoe, tie the left shoe, right shoe. Yeah, I did all those things.
Totally makes sense. Okay, what's the first thing you do after winning a Grey Cup as an assistant GM?
I don't know. I haven't done that yet. So, um,
Well, you're going to. That's what we're
obviously,
getting at. Yeah.
yeah, we're definitely going to do that in the near future. I'm not sure. Probably hang out with the fam and party with the family and the team.
Eat a good
Nice.
steak.
Love it.
There you
Oh,
go.
I'll definitely do that.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to those
Uh,
AAA Alberta steaks.
that's right. Yeah. I guess we know what we have to get Geroy. All right. What do you do when you're not on the job? What do you like to do in the moments of spare time that you have?
Well, if I'm not hanging out with the family and cooking, because I'd like to think that that I'm pretty handy in the kitchen. I play a lot of golf. I have not touched my golf clubs once this year, um, because we've been so busy with the job. But I play a lot of golf, and I obviously hang out with the family and cook.
Nice.
Fantastic. Now, I know you're brand new to the team, 4 months in or whatever, but maybe this will be more of a projection than what you really know to this point. But what does the EE way mean to you?
Well, watching Edmonton from afar, I knew that I've always known that Edmonton is a first class organization, and I must say I'm pretty proud to wear the EE because it stands for excellence. Um, every time that I came to Edmonton, there was the players and the fans and the community was so proud of the EE. So I'm pretty excited to have the opportunity to wear the E. I never thought that I would work for Edmonton over the years, but I'm proud to say that I'm the assistant general manager for the Edmonton Elks and look forward to sporting that EE for many years to come. And I I believe that I'm a very well dressed guy, and I can't wait to, you know, wear the green with pride.
Awesome. You wear that green and come down to the tailgate before the game. We'll make sure you get something tasty.
Sure.
That's it. That's the important part. All right. Before we check out here, this episode is also brought to you by Northwest Fest International Documentary Festival, running in cinema from May 6th to 14th and online from May 5th to 15th. Northwest Fest is thrilled to finally be able to bring the festival back to Metro Cinema this year with an outstanding lineup of some of the year's best docs and a few fun surprises. This year's festival is a hybrid affair with over 20 films screening at Metro Cinema, including the acclaimed Nick Cave music doc This Much I Know to Be True, along with dozens of feature and short films screening online. Award-winning filmmaker Alexandra I can't say that. Oh, Philippe, there we go. Will also be in town to present his filmmaking masterclass. This event is open to the public and is an absolute must for anyone who's ever dreamed of making their own film. Check out the full Northwest Fest film lineup and purchase all access passes or single tickets at northwestfest.com.
That's pretty cool.
G-Roy, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
that's
was
very
when I
cool.
got that ad, I'm like, yeah, this is outstanding. This is great. I love doing. We get to do video stuff. That's amazing. G-Roy, thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. I know you've been away and now you need to go spend some time with your family, and we don't want to hold you up from that. So just let everyone know where can they find you if they want to interact online or anything like that, and kind of give us your kind of your pump of what's going to happen for the next few weeks.
Well, obviously, I'm excited for this year. My social media is pretty simple. Geroy Simon.
It is easy. I appreciate
No,
that.
nothing crazy out there, but we're in the final stretch of the off season and putting this team together. We have a few more moves that we're going to make, and come the draft, after the draft, there's a few more days until we start training camp, and we're looking forward to having a very good season. We're not coming in this thing, saying that we're going to start slow. We're coming in guns a blazing, and we're going to have a tough, fast, physical football team, and I think that's what the Chris Jones way, the Edmonton Elks way, is playing that way, and we're excited for this year, and we're looking forward to turning this thing around and having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, you talked about the roster needing, a bit of an overhaul, and you guys have done an amazing job. So we're just as excited to be sitting, hopefully at training camp and watching and saying, hey, I like that guy and this looks
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
Notepads
great
ready.
great job to this point, and can't wait to see more for sure. Uh, uh, Kayla, where does everybody find you?
Uh, on Twitter at Duchess Lombardi, usually, hopefully,
Yes,
sometimes.
I know. Usually Mike's first. That throws
I
you off.
know.
I knew how that was going to work.
I
Yeah.
just
Uh, That's the trick, yeah. And then, of course, follow Superfan Mike at 56 Parkies and the history account at EDMHISTOREE.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. I even remembered that. Cool. Our Alberta Podcast Network plug for this week goes to Speaking Municipally podcast. Troy and Max sit in on Edmonton City Council, so you don't have to. You can find them and all the other great shows at the Alberta Podcast Network.com. And as well, make sure you check out Pay It Forward with Football. They are having their bowling fundraiser on Sunday, May 1st. So get in touch with them. Come join us to have some fun. I know the Super family will be out there, and my family will be out there as well. We're excited to join them for that. So come in and join in on some of that fun. You can find us, of course, at the Turf District, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram. So join in the huddle there. Stick around with us for overtime, where we can have a little bit more fan discussion. Otherwise, we will be back on April 26th. That's a Tuesday night for the next one that we will be back. We're going to hopefully set up the draft there and cover all of the Elks news to that point as we get ready for the draft, and then, of course, the starting of training camp shortly after there. And we all insert squee here. That's amazing. So for Geroy Simon, for Superfan Mike, and Commissioner Kayla, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in 2 weeks. Hello, we are back for overtime. So that was truly amazing.
Whoa.
Whoever thought we'd be talking to Geroy Simon on an Elks podcast, and then it would be like.
I feel like I was so rigid though, because I was just like, this is Geroy Simon. Geroy Simon.
There was a couple of times where I could sense that you were like, am I having this conversation? Like, this is a out of body experience.
It was
on?
bizarre. Did it happen? Like, I'm not a fangirl. It was just like I was telling you earlier, it was that connection where I started with the CFL, and Geroy Simon was one of those names that was huge, right? So
Right.
that's my
Yeah.
connection to, well, one of my connections to the CFL. And it's like, you got Jason Tucker, you got Fred Stamps, you got Geroy Simon, you got all these other huge names. And I'm like, I've spoken to one. That's bananas. I mean, we did with Jason Tucker, but he was just so chill, like completely different personality, and it was a little less intimidating because it was face to face. I'm not great
Yeah.
on like the video. I feel like I
Oh,
can't.
you did well.
No, but it's just different because you can gauge people's body language, and it's it's a little bit easier to sense what they're gonna be like, right?
Fair. Yeah.
I'm just still
Yeah.
see. This is me blabbering because I can't believe Geroy Simon is with the Elks talking to us losers. Like, awesome.
Hey, wait. Speak for yourself.
True.
Actually, I should have said I resemble that comment. The yeah, it's pretty. Like just such a, not that I didn't think he was a nice guy. Like he's a nice guy, but it was just that interaction was just really really cool.
Hmm.
And even at the end where he's like, "Yeah, I'd love to come back." I'm like, "Yeah, please.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Can you come back when we have it in person?"
Right?
Like that would be neat. Yeah. Just ignore the glass case in the corner. It's not nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Um,
Just James
okay,
Franklin,
so
but whatever.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's just James. He just stays in the corner. He's fine. It's all good.
Poor,
Hmm.
poor James.
I know he's gonna hate me. I don't know. It was a national holiday for me though. I think that was exciting.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Lots of people already talking about that. It was time for wieners for Kayla. But as it turns out, did you know that Skip the Dishes does not go to
I
Wetaskiwin?
told you that. I was like, good luck because we don't
Like
have
none of
it.
them. Well, there's one delivery service called, I think it's called Feastify or something, that said it was in Wetaskiwin, but I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to sort that
No,
out.
you
So
have to call local restaurants and get them to deliver.
okay, so now I need to do a local restaurant search for who makes hot
And
dogs on a Monday night.
pretty sure we don't have one.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You got a Harvey's around there somewhere? I think they make dogs. No?
Just have Mama Jedi like drop by with a hot dog.
It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm pretty sure we can do that. Coach Vic saying, "Breathe, Kayla. You did great." So that was very good. I love that when people jump on now into the chat, it's like, "Hello from Victoria, hello from Vancouver, hello from," like it's, and people are all excited to, "Hey, how's it going?" Like I love that we're getting that now in the chat.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
it's fun.
And also, thank you, Tyler, for letting me know that we couldn't hear Kayla, because I
Ooh.
really need to learn at the beginning when to hit like the unmute. But I unmute mine for when I'm doing the intro, and then I forget to hit the unmute so we usually miss what Mike says, and tonight we missed the first part of what
I
you
didn't
said.
say
Sorry,
much.
Kayla.
You didn't miss it.
It'll be in the audio. It'll be in the
Yeah,
audio
yeah,
podcast because
yeah.
it is in there. So
Sometimes it's
that's a good
best to
thing.
keep me muted anyway. You just never. You
We
never
love you.
know.
That's what we. It's all the parts that we love. Yeah. Even Jiwa was laughing. He's like, "Yeah, he's like, that's okay. It's good." Yeah,
Ooh,
he was obviously appreciated it.
my friend helped me
Um,
out.
Actually, yeah, your friend. So there was a couple of questions in there that I didn't get to. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want to because we did have a time limit with G-Roy, so I didn't want to run too long. But so I got a few of them in there. One of the questions, Daryl asked G-Roy if he thinks he can do a barbell backflip. Um,
Whoa.
I don't know if that might. I didn't know if that might touch a nerve, honestly, because it's like, as a GM, you're probably like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And but then as a fan, it's like, oh my God, Shy Ross, that was crazy. That was crazy. That blew my mind that he was able to do that, and the barbell basically like
Stay
just stayed
still.
still. That was crazy.
I think my back
Unreal.
cracked watching that.
You want to talk about my back
Oh,
hurting?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I to talk?
Like, I just watched that and thought, oh, good Lord, that's not going to be good. Okay, we're getting some suggestions in here. Just hang on a second. Okay, so Chris Agar, sorry, I missed this question. Draft fans will understand there have been a lot of ridiculous questions asked of players by scouts and managers. Do you ask oddball questions? Sorry, Chris. I
That
wish
was
I'd
a
have
good
grabbed
one.
that one.
Yeah.
That would a good one. And then Ken was saying, will the Elks be going into the draft looking to take the best player or choosing by position? Now, the reason I did not ask that one is because I bet you he would not have answered.
Fair. Yeah.
Because I don't really want to put them on the spot. They don't want to give up what they're. Even with the first overall pick, you don't want to give up that spot. And Geroy saying there, we still got a couple of moves that we need to make. It has been talked about that there might be, the first round or the first overall pick might be on the table for a trade of some kind. So I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but I can just see that when you're going into a draft,
Give away all your.
you don't want to give away what your plan is
Show your
before the
cards.
other teams are getting at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I didn't think that. I thought that might be not as much as I want to know the answer. I don't think that it would be fair to ask him, so I didn't get that one. The best CFL city away and hated CFL city was awesome.
That
Thank you,
was,
Tim.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was a hilarious
Yeah.
question.
Saskatchewan was
And
not
I
a
love it.
surprise, though. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure that
No,
was.
actually, I thought he might say Hamilton.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because they can get pretty rowdy in Hamilton.
I don't know. That was
Plus,
one
the Kiddie Bowl, right?
time
Lions
experience. I
versus
had a
Tiger Cats.
blast. So my experience is
Yeah.
completely different from a player's, but I had a blast there.
That's true. That's very true. Then Coach says, time for wieners for Kayla. Ken says, I did not hear the doorbell ring. Oh, well, that was, yeah. Okay. Ken says the A&W whistle dog. Oh, I didn't even, is there, see?
They have a hot dog at A&W?
They do.
Oh.
They do. They do.
Well, it's like, no, I don't want to give away my position. Just in case.
Are you giving away coordinates? Is that what it is? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Wilson just joined the party. There we go. Okay, A&W Whistle Dog. I'll have to figure out that. Coach Vic says Mama Jedi would be a great guest. Ooh, she would be a good
Bless
guest.
her heart, Mama.
I think we have to do a mom show.
Yes, yeah, with
we?
all of them. I think that would put the
Like
pressure.
all the moms.
It would take the pressure
That would be
off
amazing.
of just one, because I think for my mom, she would be a little hesitant if it was all on her. But if there was all three of our moms, I think that would be a blast.
The mom show.
That would be so
amazing.
fun.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. My mom would be like, yeah, I know football. I like to listen to my son talk about football. That's
right,
what she would
say. Exactly. I like
Yes.
to cheer when my daughter cheers.
I like to cheer. Your mom would be like, is Washington playing again? I like him. Oh, I actually got you to snort on that one. That's good.
That's totally my mom.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, I know Mama Jedi.
She
I know
picks
Mama Jedi.
like a player, and that is her guy through the season.
Yeah.
She's like, I like him. I know his name and his number, and I am good to go.
It's good to have a favorite.
Right?
That's
exactly.
a good way to do it. All right. Okay. So then I'm just going through here. Oh, Tim Capper says, does Andrew have a hoard item this week? Oh, well, I didn't have a hoard item, although I'm sure I could come up with something. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do have an item that would be interesting. Oh. Hold, please, and I will be entertain the fans. Kayla, I'll be right back.
Oh, geez. Okay, on the spot. Wow. I mean, I could just talk about all the things that are like nerdtastic. I mean, I could go on and on about that. Anybody else watch Star Trek? Voyager is definitely my top dog. Although I've been watching a lot of Turkish series. So if anyone watches Turkish dramas, let me know your favorites because I'm all about that.
Turkish dramas. Boy, I walked into something there, didn't I?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching them for about 4 years now, but I just got back into them, and I finished off 2 in the past 2 weeks.
Wow, fancy. So I have a few things that I'm going to show as horrid items. So I talked about him in the show with Geroy that at one point he played with my cousin,
Mm?
and so I know this isn't an Elks item, but one of the few Elks non-Elks items that I have in my room is a card of my cousin, and he rarely signed anything, and so he signed that for me, which is really really cool. So,
That's very
and it's like
cool.
the perfect stance for Cam. It made me laugh
It's a good
very hard when I
position.
saw that. It was amazing. Yeah, exactly. So that was really really cool. And then the other thing I was going to show is that so I've had this one for a while. So I don't know if you remember the Bubba containers that it was from the 80s. They had these big Bubba beer containers.
Oh
So
my word.
so I've had this one for a while. This is the Warren Moon one, and of course I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I like this. But then uh, the other day I was able to obtain the other one. This is a number 50, which is Blake Dermott. And Blake said once I get this can that he would come over to sign it. So at some point I'm going
Aw.
to get him over to sign it. So now I've got the collection of both of them. So
So,
that would be
was there anything
amazing.
inside, like popcorn or something?
No, no, it was beer, but
Oh, oh, oh,
these ones
oh,
are
oh,
empty.
oh.
They're like small little kegs.
Gotcha. Well, you know those
Yeah,
like popcorn things that they usually have, like the canisters?
right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but well, they could have been. They were beer first. I mean, I could take the
Fair
lid off and
enough.
put popcorn in now. Yeah, Molson Canadian
Just
beer.
like
So
lift Andrew upside down to a keg stand, a mini
yeah,
keg stand.
wait a second. This is interesting now. This is going all over the place. So there you go, a hoard item for this week that I happen to have on hand. Thank you for the question, Tim. I
Very
appreciate
cool.
it. Um, Coach Vic said Cordy was asked what type of donut he would be if he was a donut. He got asked that in the in the in the
What
combine questions. God, that's
was
that's
the
awesome.
answer?
He,
Hey, Vic,
Coach Vic didn't
yeah,
put, but
Coach, you'll
but
have to tell
Chris
us.
Agar says, "Well, I'd be a Boston cream, soft in the middle." Oh my! I'd be the one with all of the crazy rainbow sprinkles on it because I'm kind of crazy like that. I
It's
think
true.
that would be perfect
You
for
wouldn't
me.
be a birthday cake?
Do they make a birthday cake donut? I
Wh-
mean, if it was a Timbit, then
Well,
absolutely
then
I'd be
you'd
a
be a
birthday cake because
Timbit.
it's the best one
N-
ever.
No,
Because that's the
I
right.
highly
It's the only
disagree,
ones worth
but
having.
yes.
Those are the only ones worth having.
No,
Well, except I can't eat them anymore. But yes, they'd be really tasty.
that would be yes.
Um, okay, so Dave Winchester said, having lived in Hamilton, opposing teams were not welcomed. Yeah, this is what I've heard. Coach Vic said if he had to answer, he would say apple fritter, just thick and solid. I'm gonna leave that alone. I think that's the second snort we got, Kayla. Oh, the Turf District after dark every week, every week. Um, Jerry Cooper says a very special Mother's Day event. Well, we might have to figure that out. Yeah, I'm telling you, all the moms at one time. All right, then Tim Capper says hashtag snorts from Kayla. Perfect.
Oh, geez.
That could be the next title of the podcast.
It's hereditary.
Um,
I can't help it.
oh my. Okay. Oh, Kim says hello, hello, Kim.
Hi,
Thank you
Kim.
for joining us. Oh, and there's Mama Jedi who says not sure about that, Coach. Okay. Then let's go. Let's see. Then there's a little talk about Picard being awesome, which it is. That's good.
It's on Crave, right? That's the streaming service it's on?
Think so. I don't remember. I know it's yeah. Yeah, I've caught a couple of them. They're pretty good. And then I think Ken was saying TNG here is he meant the next generation, but I think
Of
it might be
course.
because Mama Jedi was there. So that makes sense. The two generations right there. Amazing.
Please, I know
Tim
what
Capper
TNG stands
says,
for. Come on,
I
Avery.
know, I know, but I'm filling in for other people that might be like, what the
Fair,
hell?
fair.
Maybe
See,
somebody on here doesn't know. Just say, Nars. How's that drink going on over there?
it's empty.
At least it's not the never-ending bottle of wine. Yeah.
Oh, never again.
Why not? It was sure entertaining. Like it was. Yeah,
I
and we
like
can do
to.
that in a
That's too
live
loose.
podcast.
Oh wait, no.
We can do that with the moms. Everybody has wine. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be an interesting one. Okay. And then your mom says you guys are killing me, which is fantastic. It makes me laugh. It's just because she's still cheering for Washington right now. Right? She's
Doesn't know.
standing up.
Don't tell
Where's
her.
Washington? Don't tell. He's not with the team. Okay. Very good. Coach Vic says we'd be cheering you on to greatness, Mama. And getting some cool things for the Bubbas. Thank you very much.
Very
They
cool.
are very cool. Star Trek Lower Decks. That's basically what this show is. That's great.
Very, very.
Actually, Lower Decks is hilarious. Have you seen it?
If it's not on Netflix or
Oh,
Prime,
oh no.
yeah,
But oh my goodness, it's very funny. Yeah.
let's check it out.
I see. You're having whiskey. I'm having tea. Interesting.
It's a smarter choice, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yours makes snorting. Mine doesn't make snorting. That's true. Oh my. Capper says I don't remember the Owls doing those. I don't know what year they were from, and I don't think it's gonna say on here, but it might have been like 88 or 89, but they just had a one on it. And it wasn't specifically for War and Moon. It's just because of that. But I know this one did come out when Dermot was playing for. So it might be the time when the Montreal didn't have a team. That might be
Oh, maybe they had wine
why
bottles.
they didn't do one. Ooh, wow, fancy.
Fitting.
Sorry. And somebody saying, me a bit crazy. I can sense the sarcasm and bang on. Yeah. Anyway, Chris Agar says Picard, yes, is on Crave. Picard is also on Sci-Fi. And then why in Star Trek do they always lose power? Is what Derek Mapstone asks. Why do they always lose power, Kayla?
Drama. You need some drama.
The same drama every time. We have.
There's some things that have
Is
been
there-
pointed out, and I'm like, you ruined Star Trek for me. It's
Yeah.
like how can you have a call-in sick day when you have hypo sprays for any ailment?
That's
I was like,
that's good.
oh
I
yeah,
hadn't
that's
thought
so
of that before.
true.
Yeah, that's true. I like maybe it should be hashtag dilithium crystals for Kayla. Maybe that's what it should be.
Just all the hashtags apparently.
You get them all.
All of
Yeah. You gotta get them all. Gotta get them all.
catch them all or get them all.
Yeah, no, I think it's catch them all, isn't it? But in this particular moment, you want get them all. I get that. Okay, excellent. David Winchester is asking, have the Elks said anything about Fan Day? I meant to mention this actually in the regular show. Oh, shoot. I also meant to send out a congratulations to our good friend Steph on their new little addition. Oh my God, she's adorable. So I'm very happy for both of them, for John and Steph. So
Yes,
that's awesome.
The only good thing to come from the red and black or white. Beautiful little Sawyer.
But on, I believe it was yesterday, I got a direct message from Victor inviting me to his community for Ask Me Anything, the Elks
Ooh.
president CEO, and he was sending it out to a bunch of fans. It's awesome. So it's a Twitter community where we can ask whatever questions. I love the transparency, and he was responding to a majority of the questions, which is awesome. But at any point you have a question, you can just fire it in there and he'll respond. So that's amazing. So check out the communities on Twitter and join that one. I'll just double check to make sure I get the right one for what it's called because I want to make sure you get the right thing.
That's totally
So
him
it's
too.
absolutely
Yeah.
it's called Ask Me Anything, Elks Pres and CEO.
Now,
And
is
yeah,
this an
you can just
ongoing thing or like specific for one day he's going to go through them and answer?
he's doing them pretty much every day. He's
Okay,
answering.
okay.
Like you can just keep answering. But I see that like Farhan Lalji was part of it, and his question was, Mr. Kui, how can we get the other governors in the league to be as progressive as you? Which I
Okay.
love it.
That's a
I
fair
love it.
question. That's fair. That's fair.
But getting back to the and I 100% agree. The interaction is as it was even when we had him on. Like the Victor's interactions are amazing
Hmm.
and it's awesome. Um, oh, sorry, I just saw a great Tyler said hashtags for Kayla. That's the T-shirt right there. Hashtags for Kayla is the best one yet. That's amazing. We can just put all the hashtags in there. Needless to say, getting back to David's question,
Yes.
there was a question in here about Fan Day, and Victor's response was that they're just waiting for updated COVID protocols from the league. And same thing when it came to training camp. He hopes that we can have Fan Day, hopes that we will be able to be at training camp, but they just need to wait to get the updated protocols, the COVID protocols, and make sure that everything is clear, and then they will confirm that. So
Is it
that's
just,
what we're just
is
waiting
there a
for.
reason why, like, I don't know all provinces, but was BC kind of the last, are they still doing like
Well,
the,
BC is now is outside of they have lifted
have they?
most,
Oh,
if not all, of the
okay.
mandates. Yep, that was just last Friday.
Okay.
So, but I don't think that just because the mandates are lifted does not mean it's the same for the teams, right?
Right.
Because what they well, and we experienced this last year, unfortunately, with our team where there was an outbreak on the team, right?
Mhm.
And so
Yes. Mm.
they want to make sure that they can avoid those kinds of things. But then within the governing bodies, what is that protocol? So we may not know until they actually get a CBA done
Right.
as to where that stands. But Victor said they were just waiting to get that protocol, and
So,
then they'll let us all know.
what's your feeling with the training camps? Because they're coming up really quick.
Yeah, well, again, if they have to wait for that protocol, and if it's part of the CBA, like the CBA might not get signed until the week before,
Yeah.
so we might not know until then, right? So I've planned for the ability to be there.
Yeah.
Um, if the protocols come back that we can't be there, um,
Yep.
then we might return to the actual knothole gang where we're all standing at the gate watching in the
I was just
small
gonna say,
holes just to see what's going on. Yeah.
where's my
Um,
drone?
but yeah, yeah, that won't go well. We'll put a different logo on it. Yeah, the Horseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think that I'm hoping that both will be able to go ahead, but it's just a matter of okay, well, what are the rules going to be? Because they again, you don't want to get in and then get one player sick and then it spreads through
Right.
the entire team, right?
Right.
That's especially not when we're trying to get everything ready to go for a season. So we'll have to see what that happens. So that's where it's sitting right now, David. But follow that community, and you'll get lots of information from Victor. Capper says with the CFL logo, the Owls were in the league. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Sorry. Are you sure? Are you sure? Like that CFL logo, that one right there.
Isn't that like
I don't know.
the early 2000s?
Late '90s too, is it not? Anyway.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. So we'll have to see. Okay. If Mike was here, he could argue because I have no freaking clue.
All right,
That's
either
right.
way.
I just know it's lovely. Okay. The dilithium crystals wear out. That's why they lose power, according to Coach Vic. Still the best comment yet. Hashtags for Kayla. That's the T-shirt. Because I'm still laughing about that. Okay. Kim was asking, have you heard about the town hall meeting that was rescheduled? The I think Kim, are you talking about the one in Montreal that Randy's road trip that had to be rescheduled, or are you talking about a town hall here? Because that one I hadn't heard of as of yet. So maybe clarify for me, and then we can talk about that. And then Tim was saying, you guys hear that Elks defensive back Aaron Grimes was at Vernon Adams minicamp last week. I did hear that, and well, they want to go up against a good DB. It's good practice.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As long as there's no like poaching.
Well, come on now. It's like Aaron stops everything with his flow.
Yeah, true. But I would be poached by Vernon Adams. So
I, Hashtag poached for Kayla. Oh God. Downhill
there's gonna
so
be a
fast.
list.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be all down the back of the T-shirt, all the different hashtags.
Yeah.
Followed by hashtags for Kayla. So I did hear that he was there. It's one of the guys I want to get on the show. Actually, I would like to get him on, mostly just so that I could ask him if people ever call him AA Ron. Come on, that was a snort-worthy one. Come on, Kayla.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Kim, thank you for the fan day info. No problem. Quebec still does have mask mandates. Okay, so I thought BC was the last. I guess BC is the last Western, probably, because Manitoba lifted, Saskatchewan lifted,
I think
Ontario lifted,
I think it was
Alberta,
like
and now
the
BC.
passports. Didn't Quebec lift the passports before BC did?
Possibly, yeah. I'm not
I don't
entirely
honestly.
sure.
I don't watch the news. So I could be out to lunch.
Yeah, I know what I have to do here
Yeah,
and
not
where I'm
even
going
that.
next week.
I just
That's
live
all
in
I
my
need
own
to
little
know.
bubble now. Very happy.
Okay, but that was not a lot different than before.
No, it's true. That's why I
Okay.
maintain a lot of my joy and happiness.
Great. Okay,
Isolation is the key, folks.
good. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Ken says, I am not sure fan day should get the same consideration as attending training camp. So I'm going to ask Ken, I want you to expand on that. Do you
Yeah.
think that fan day should go and training, like, what do you mean by that? For what different consideration? I understand there are definitely different events. I could see where, and this is the way I think you're going, if you're just sitting in the stands and let's say you can't go lower than row 25 or something, and you're just sitting in the stands and watching training camp way well away from the players, that would be significantly different than fan day when you're up at the fence getting all of your
Right.
autographs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we had very altered fan day in comparison. So I think that's what you're talking about, Ken. And for that, I would 100% agree with you. But I think what's going to end up happening is it's just going to be there's going to be one COVID protocol, and it'll be like fans yes or fans no, and that's kind of what might happen. Ken saying camp has many more people. Well, more players, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm finding, like, I know sitting in the stands for training camp, I don't think there's like there's a number of us for sure, but
Not as much
fan
as
day has many more people.
Yes.
There you go. That's what I meant. Yeah, and many more people that are right in contact, right? So that would be
Yeah.
that would be completely different.
Woo.
So I don't know how that'll actually but and Chris just said camp allows more easy physical distance. I agree. Yet, last year we were still not allowed in. So I we'll have to see. It's going to come down to what the CFL protocol is, and then go from there. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting for sure. Um, Kim was saying, oh, the town hall with Victor Cue. I didn't even know that there was a town
Me
hall
neither.
with Victor Cue. So Kim is way ahead of information than
Note.
me
Yeah.
because I've been swamped with work the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to have to get more information on that, Kim. But thank you for passing that on. Um, Derek says the Bubba cake comes from the early 2000s. I remember buying them, and I was 18 until then. There you go. Okay. So that there you go. It is from the early 2000s. So the Owls did have a team. I don't know why they didn't make a Bubba. They missed out because these are friggin' awesome.
I'm telling you, man, they had wine,
Yep, I
the
know. Well,
boxes.
I have the Elks, well, Eskimos, I guess, wine as well. Yeah,
Ooh.
I have it sitting over there on the shelf.
So you don't know
Yeah.
if it's actually good or not because it's just
I didn't taste it.
no.
No, it's
Okay.
still sealed. I'm no dummy. Come
Oh,
on. That's
okay.
yeah, sealed. It's gonna be worth something. No, it's not. Anyway. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Jerry Cooper said, I'm pretty sure I drank my Warren Moon can with help for the 2003 Grey Cup. But that was many years and many beers ago. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, excellent. So I just need to learn my timing. I thought they were way earlier, but needless to say, that's fine. I love them.
This is why we need Mike.
Correct. Kim says Aaron is Aaron, is one heck of an athlete. I agree. It's amazing. It's amazing. Um, oh, Chris, that's a good one. He Chris suggested a new T-shirt for you, Kayla,
Oh boy,
with hashtag #PoachMeVA.
that just sounds so dirty. So
Doesn't it?
dirty.
Yeah, I'm glad that he stopped with VA.
Oh no.
Anyway, #PoachMeVA. All right. Um, all right. So Kim says the town hall was supposed to be in March and haven't heard any more info since they decided to change the date of it. So, you know what, Kim? That would be an awesome question to put into that community. I'm not sure if you're part of the community, but I would love to. I'm going to actually see if you're in there or not. I think you are. But that would be a good one to put in there just to ask and see if they're going to reschedule that, because that would be, even if they did it, they could do a town hall through Zoom. Send out the Zoom link, let fans be part of it, and you could type in questions much like we're doing right now, where you've
Yeah.
got questions and it's moderated and you can get a chance to ask those questions. I would even be okay with that, but again, it's probably consistent with, okay, what are the COVID protocols in the CFL? There's going to be rules, they got to follow them. So
Mm.
I'm hoping we'll hear more about it. Chris Agar says box wine equals adult Capri Sun. I've heard that before, which is fantastic.
Fun fact: in Italy, they
Um,
actually have juice boxes of wine.
oh,
It's
really?
disgusting, but it's cheap.
Okay, all right then. Um, and then Ken says Kim didn't. They changed the format from Facebook Zoom to something new. The something new has not been determined. Oh, okay. So it was Facebook Zoom, and then it was supposed to be in person now, is what Kim was saying. So I guess we'll have to see well, how that
Hmm.
goes about. But
Did they say
oh,
why it
Kim
was
says
canceled?
no, rarely on Twitter. Okay, so Kim, I will go into the Ask Me Anything. I'll do it right now. While we're right on camera, you can see me asking. Hi, Victor. Do you want me to read it out as I
Yes.
type? Wondering if the town hall that was scheduled earlier has been rescheduled in some format. Ooh, good lord, I blew that.
Signed, Andrew.
No. Uh, Would love to know more about it. There you go. I will let you know as soon as I hear back. Ta-da, done. Okay, because he's pretty good about getting back to people on there. So there you go. Ken says I was supposed to be involved in the virtual one. I would love to be part of that. So, Leanne asked, Kayla, did you receive some mail?
I did. Thank you, girl.
Perfect. Excellent. That's good. And Ken says there has been nothing new on the reschedule. Kim says juice box wine sounds horrible.
It is,
So,
but when you're a broke college student, it's the key. Sitting on the
do you
steps
know they
of the
have wine in
piazza.
cans now?
Ew.
You know what?
No, no. I mean, juice, like the cardboard boxes
Jedi
are
had
one
some.
thing, but like a can?
Yeah, we tried some when we went to the Elks wine tasting, whatever that was, 4 years ago. Uh, they actually had wine in a can. It was actually pretty tasty.
If it was a cold one, like a Moscato or something bubbly, I think I'd be okay. But if it was like a red wine and it was
Hmm.
cold, it's just
There
that's
is a red one.
blasphemy.
You don't have to make it cold. You just
But
open
just
it
the
up.
the tin, the
Ta-da!
metallic taste that would, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna bring one for you at tailgate
All
just so
right.
that you have something. Yeah, because I know how much you'll appreciate that.
I'm snubbing them for now.
Okay. Well, I think that you should be open to trying first before
Oh,
you just snub
I'm
something.
open to trying it, but I'm snubbing it.
Okay, perfect. Oh my. All right. Chris says this gives a whole new definition to the term live tweet. Yep,
Yeah.
you caught it. While I was doing it, Tim Capper says, "Love your pal Andrew." Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
XO. Signed James
Um,
Franklin.
bring Franklin back. That's what I should have asked Geroy. Damn it! I should have said, "Can you bring Franklin back?" Just because it'd be great.
Just because.
Um, uh, Tim Capper says it can't be any weirder than water in cans or a box.
Yeah, 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 that's fair.
That's right.
Yeah.
So come on, still tasty. It's all good. Lovely. All right. Well, we have been on here for about an hour and a half. Kayla, I
Whoa.
know that you have a big test to prepare for this week, so I don't want to hold you up too late. And I want to get this show edited so that I can get that out for everybody. I'm hoping that will be out tomorrow morning, so everybody will get a chance to listen to Geroy and enjoy that conversation once again. Derek says, Kayla, I tried gin. You can try wine from a can.
I'll try
And
anything. But like I
hey,
said,
a
prejudgments.
gin smash out of a can is
It
amazing.
is. It is.
Oh, do you know what I saw this? I was at the liquor store this week, and they had in this funky can, they had a sparkling lemonade
Ooh.
with vodka. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that would be dangerous. But it does sound like a amazing tailgate drink, does it not?
Yes.
A
You
cold vodka with lemonade?
okay,
Oy.
I was going back and watching some of our old videos for some reason. I got nostalgic.
Were you?
You remember
Okay.
Qui-Gon Jinns?
Oh yes.
Yes.
I absolutely I do.
Oof.
I have the container to make them.
Oof, we
I
need
will
to
make
bring those
them.
back.
Don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember what's in them?
Nope. Gin.
Gin. Yeah.
Lime.
Uh no.
It was green.
Well, a little bit of lime juice.
Yes.
Yeah. But the green is from the melon liqueur
Oh, right.
and Sprite.
Yeah, it was good.
So it's oh my God, yeah, you don't taste the gin is the problem. They go down super easy.
So yeah, that was
And the way I mix them, you have one and you're a little giddy, and by the second one, you can't feel your teeth.
it was like sluice juice. You just suck them back because you're like, it's just orange juice, but no.
No, no, it is not. You know what happens when you have too much sluice juice?
You get slushy. Yes. The freak.
That's what happens.
Ooh,
And somebody videos it and puts it on a GIF and lives on Twitter forever.
you're welcome, world.
Yeah. Thanks, Superfan Mike.
That was me.
Well, you took the video,
Yes.
but Mike put it out as a GIF.
Oh, I see.
He
I see.
figured out how to change it into a GIF. And Tim says it sounds like Mike's hard lemonade. That's fair, but it was, I don't know, it was in some weird container thing that it wasn't like, yeah, it could be just Mike's hard lemonade. I didn't even think of that. I'm not obviously a super big drinker, so
Neither am I. And
whatever.
although it's on the it sounds like the contrary because I'm always having a drink of something, but I'm not. I'm not, okay? But I did go to
Uh-huh.
Troubled Monk last weekend, and I must
hmm
say that is some good beer. Their English
Really?
mild and their ginger guava, was it?
Ginger guava.
Weird, right? But so good. That and that English mild, oh, if you like a darker ale that's
Where is that place?
it's in Red Deer by downtown. That's the best I got.
Oh,
It's super
wow.
easy to get to. It's actually really cute. I like the vibe as much as I hate how overused that word is. It definitely has
Yeah.
it. And yeah,
Hmm.
they were really nice, very friendly, and that
Cool.
yeah, some of those beers, ooh, ooh, and Blind Man out of Lacombe, very good.
Okay. I know where I'm going the next time I spend a night in Red Deer,
Go also
which
go to
is
Sweet
going to be
Capone's.
pretty often too. So,
Oh,
what's
really?
that?
Go to Sweet Capone's too. Their
Sweet
cannolis are
Capone's.
amazing.
Oh, yes, you told me about that.
Yes. So
Yes.
if you
Okay.
can
Yes.
eat those now,
Okay.
oh,
Not yet, but okay.
when you can, first stop.
hmm
Their
Okay.
coffee, they have the sorry, one more shout out, Fratello's coffee. That's what they serve at Sweet Capone's. Fratello's is out of Calgary. Amazing coffee. That's it, guys. That's all I got.
All these people are like getting free plugs. Nice job.
Can't
That's
help it.
great. Yeah. 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 You love what you love. Hashtags for Kayla. I
Yep.
love it.
Another one.
Okay. Oh my. Chris says I'll make a carbonated vodka lemonade. I'll bring you some at tailgate. Oh, lovely.
Hmm.
That sounds lovely to me.
Lemonade,
I,
lemonade.
I like I like that. So I think that's the difference. I think it's the carbonation.
Hmm.
Because is Mike's hard carbonated?
I haven't had one of those since I was in high school, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, whatever. We'll find out. Needless to say, I do want to thank everyone for joining us this evening because it was amazing to chat with Geroy, and I
Oh,
love having everybody join in with some great questions, some good conversation afterwards. We look forward to this every time we get on to chat with you guys. So make sure you're following us all. You can see the follows along the bottom there to join in the huddle and the chats. I'm gonna be away for a couple of weeks, so the account will be a little bit quieter for a little bit, but we will be back on the night of the 26th to do a show, and then we'll put that out on the Wednesday, and then of course the following week after that is the draft, and the
oof.
following week after that we go back to a weekly show. So we're gonna get
Crazy.
right back into the thick of it, and it's coming a lot faster than we would think. But thank you everyone for joining.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. And any any shares that you can do, we're really trying to get that goal of our Twitter up to 2,500 followers before the season, if at all possible. We're at 24 and change, so any help in there would be really helpful. And we look forward to hopefully seeing all of you soon, where we can talk more football face to face. But this is a great release, so thanks for being part of it. We really appreciate it. Um, so, for Superfan Mike and Commissioner Kayla, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye, everyone.